Hey guys, I wanted to pop in here and share something that I'm seeing a lot of designers doing that is a really big misstep in their process, and that is reviewing the contract with your client. Talking to a lot of designers, have a lot of great coaching calls this month. Thank you to all of you who are investing in that and trusting me and getting on those calls. But what I'm really being told by a lot of you is that you're not reviewing your contract with your client. You're slipping it through an email, you're sliding it under the door and saying, here, there you go, there's the contract, right? Now, what's this doing is that this is like, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And so I just want to share an example of how I review the contracts. This shouldn't be scary. I have contract templates, by the way, in my shop. If you need any, you can go to interiordesignDocuments.com. And here's just an example of how I would talk to a client during a, while I'm reviewing it with them. So during the communication, let's say, section. So it says, due to the nature of the business, phone calls cannot always be answered immediately, but voice messages and emails will be returned in a timely manner. Usually we say, within 24 business hours. All communications will be during regular business hours, if the Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If the client needs to cancel or reschedule an appointment, we require 48 hours notice. Any cancellations without the required 48 hours notice will result in charges based on the regular hourly rate of $250 an hour times the appointment time slot. Please note that CJI has a strict no texting policy. And then I go, okay, so here's what that means, right? And I just say we obviously try to get in touch, and reply to you in a timely manner. And these are our working hours, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Does that mean I don't see your email at 11 p.m.? Well, I'm usually in bed by 9:30. I don't know, I'm getting older these days, right? But even if I see it later, there are typically no emergencies for the way that we work. So we will reply to you the next business day, right? I'm with my family, I'm with my husband, we're watching the latest thing on Netflix. And just a reminder that in terms of for the cancellation policy, if you need to cancel an appointment. So that's if we're scheduling a site visit and I have my trade's coming, Walter's coming, and then, all of a sudden it's what, I can't do it today, and it's very last minute notice. Well, that really does mess us up, and we have to reschedule, and we've pushed our schedule out. So that may mean that you will be charged for that visit. Now, it doesn't really happen that often. In fact, probably count on one finger how often that's happened, and usually it's usually when somebody's sick and you're not feeling well. Most people are very respectful of our time, as I am of yours. And then the last note there, just on the texting policy, what I find with text is that, first of all, it's not the best way to communicate when we're in a professional working relationship this way. We don't accept texts of pictures of rugs or lamps or design ideas. We don't do that. We like everything to be during our meetings, and so we can stay really organized and efficient with our time and have everything in one spot. But also with a text, sometimes the expectation is that someone replies straight away, and we don't do that. Now that I'm here with you, I'm reviewing this contract, I'm not checking my phone, and so I'll be with you in this meeting, for a couple of hours, and I can't reply straight away. And then afterwards I get in my car, and if I do see a text, then it might be oh yeah, okay, well, I've got to go to my next appointment now, so I'll look at that later. And then I forget later, because between then, by the time I've gotten home, my kids have messaged me, and my friend and I are going to yoga tonight, so she's messaged me, and your text gets buried. So it's just not an efficient way to work, and we just find that a phone call or emails are best. Does that bring up any questions? Does that all make sense? Right? At which point they're like, yes, it totally makes sense. Now, what this does, you guys, is that it really helps the client understand and appreciate your process and why you have certain things in place. And you can tell a story. You can, just like I did there, just explain a little bit, get a little bit personal. Oh, what I just told about yoga, then all of a sudden the client goes, oh, by the way, let's talk about yoga, because I do yoga too. I want to know where you go. I'm like, oh, perfect. Okay, let's save that till the end of this. Okay, well, it just creates opportunities for questions, for more conversation, and it should not be scary. So please do not just email your contract. See it as a great opportunity. Take control. Your clients will respect you more for it. And I hope that this resonates with you guys, and that you'll feel, better about it. And if you have any questions, as always, comment below and let me know. Do you email the client the contract, or do you read it in person? And what has your experience been? I'm Claire Jefford, business coach, here to help you in your interior design business. Cheers.